Thank you for being here. Welcome back to my channel, and here I am with another video. This is a 2013 Mercedes-Benz AMG. To do what I'm going to show you doesn't require that much experience. So if you have been working on furniture, motorcycle seat, or you have been working on upholstery but you don't have that much experience, this video it is for you. Maybe you have afraid to work on car. I will show you how you can work on car. This is a Mercedes-Benz. I will show you how you can repair the driver's seat. And like I say, it doesn't require that much experience, that much skill to do it. Always when you are going to work on car, check the light sensor, especially Mercedes, BMW, and there are some other brands. Check the light sensor on the dashboard. If you are working for somebody, let that person know that light some on the dashboard. Some Mercedes-Benz, soon as you remove the seat, the airbag sensor light will come on, and you have to reset it. So make sure to do that. Without any further, let's go started. This is I will replace in two pieces on that seat, and this is out of vinyl and suede. You might say, I thought Mercedes-Benz was pure leather. No, not all of them. Some Mercedes-Benz, the cheapest model, are making 100% out of vinyl, and sometimes they use suede. The expensive model, they use leather. So you will start removing that part. There is a bracket that is holding the bar, and you will remove it. You will need a socket, TX number 30. You will need that socket, and you will remove two small bolts from the front and remove the bracket that is holding the bar. And there is a plastic, so make sure to put everything back, and then you just pull the seat forward. On this seat, you don't need to remove the whole frame, the whole base. No, you don't need that. Most of the Mercedes-Benz you have to remove it, but on this one not. That's what I say, it is easier. You will need a punch hole. You have to disconnect the seat from the base, and there are two connected together. Those connections are for the heater. So you see they're two connected together. You have to separate. One is for the backrest, the other one is for the bottom cushion, and just separate. Just pay attention how they are attached, because you have to put it back. So then you remove the seat, and you see it, I didn't remove the whole base. You took it to your table. You will need some, I would say, flat screwdriver. You will need a plier. You will need a scissor. I will use this. I have to remove some plastic that are holding that metal. So you will start removing a little by little. In case if you never work on car before, make sure to get your phone, take a photo how everything is connected. That way you won't have any issue when you are going to put everything back. In case if you don't remember, that photo or that video will help you. And now removing the plastic that is holding that seat frame. Okay, now I start removing the cover. This cover is come with some plastic. Some cover come with hand ring. And check this out. You see that blue plastic? That blue plastic is holding a wire. You have to create a pressure to the outside, and you separate that wire to the plastic. It's holding the wire. Pull it pressure to outside. Be careful. Don't create too much pressure, because you will end up breaking those plastic. Okay. That wire is out, and I just remove it. And I will do the same thing with all those other wires. I am not going to show you the whole process, but I will skip the easy thing. And then I keep doing the same thing. Just be careful with that cable. I got the cover out. And then you will need a razor blade or a very sharp knife to start unstitching. Be careful with the pieces that you are not going to replace it. Don't cut it, don't damage it. Be careful. So I'm gonna start unstitching. I want to unstitch this plastic. So simple, so easy. Then I start separating those pieces that I'm going to replace. Are 3 pieces. See, I am using a razor blade. I'm going to put some mark on it. I can see those marks easily. But I just put those marks, that way you can see it. Because have some notches, but it's hard to see it through the camera. I just put these pieces away, I put them on my sewing machine, and I'm going to start working on these pieces. See, I put some mark. Very important to put those marks. Same thing right here. It's hard to see it, but there are some 2 pieces of vinyl and 1 out of fabric. You can see that vinyl so clearly. You can unstitch or you can cut it, whatever is easier for you. I cut it. You have a French stitch. Then I'm going to separate this fabric from the leather. And there are 3 pieces. And I had the 3 pieces right here, and I had the vinyl, and I had the fabric. Plus I have a 1/4 of an inch thickness headliner material or foam material. You can use a spray can to glue it. I will use the regular glue. I put a little bit of glue, not that much, it is not necessary. Same thing with the vinyl. You can buy all this in any upholstery supplies in the United States. If they don't have it, they can order for you. Even I think Amazon has some upholstery material. Then I start gluing those materials together. After that, I lay the fabric on top of the fabric, the old piece on top of the new one, and I start drawing, tracing. Make sure to lay that piece flat. If it is with wrinkles, straighten them up and start tracing exactly how the old one it is. If the old one has been trimmed, you have to correct that part first and give extra for the seam allowance. But this one haven't trimmed, it is vinyl. When the old pieces are leather, there is a big chance that that piece is shrinking. And I do the same thing right here. Tracing, give it for the seam allowance. 3 pieces. That's it. Now you're going to start cutting. You will need a scissor because I am cutting vinyl and foam at the same time. Very important to use scissors be sharp. Same thing right here. Cutting. Okay. You saw me unstitching those pieces. You saw me tracing the old piece to cut the new one. And I got the 3 new pieces in there. Vinyl and fabric. Next, you have to take it to your sewing machine. By this time, you already have to know how to use your sewing machine. So those mark, I put one notch on top of the other one, and I start putting those two pieces together. So simple. You will need a industrial upholstery sewing machine for do this. You cannot use those heavy sewing machine for clothes. Those ones are not gonna work on here. It has to be upholstery machine. So now I'm going to sew the other piece, the side with the part of the face panel together. I made a stitch so small right here. I didn't show you that part, but the stitch, it is so small. I'm gonna put it this way. The biggest size of my stitch is the number 5. The smallest size is the number 4. So I am using the number 20 on my sewing machine. That means it is small. Why? Because I'm going to put a French stitch. And I'm going to reinforce from the bottom. Sometimes I put a reinforced material, sometimes I don't. I don't know if you notice, or maybe the camera doesn't catch that part, but when I unstitch or when I cut that part, it doesn't have a reinforce. So I'm not putting reinforce, I just fold in the material and you will see how I fold it. I fold it like that, then I put a stitch. If you don't have experience using your sewing machine, that would be a big chance that this stitch, when you are putting it, will be so crooked. So make sure to practice it. That stitch has to be straight. You have to look nice at the end. I am using a red thread, so any mistake right here will be so visible. Any crooked stitch right here will be so visible. I have a post machine, but as you see me, I am not using it. Why? Because if you are learning, I am showing you you can do this in any upholstery machine. I have a guide for the top stitch too. I didn't use it for the same thing. You can cut it right here, all the way from the front to the back. I only going to cut this section. It's more than enough, and you can see beautiful French stitch. Now I'm going to sew this piece, and check this out. That gray pattern of Mercedes, and there are some other brand. The vinyl is not gluing into that gray pattern. Mercedes always work like this. And I reinforce those pieces of new vinyl with 1/4 of an inch thickness foam. That's just reinforce. And this is the lifting material that I have. I am not going to use the old one. I'm going to put a new one. It's way better to put a new one. Just put it like this. Start sewing. Keep looking underneath because you have to see that lifting or that pulling material that is going straight. You see, I am looking. Maybe you not see me that I am looking, but I will show you later. See, I lift the cover. I check the listing. It has to be straight. If the listing is straight, I keep sewing. Put the listing straight and keep sewing. And I cut it. So I got the listing right there. So after that I'm going to sew this part. In a extreme because I had too much excess material, and that is now I have to sew 2 more pieces. Right here I have a pull material, but I'm not going to replace it. And that is the first one. Now we're going to sew the other one. So you can see those pieces are sewing together, but I have to sew this plastic. To sew this plastic, if you are using a regular presser foot, will be so hard. If you don't have a regular right presser foot and you have two of this one, just cut one. If you had two, cut one, cut the left part like this one. That one is new. Not new. I bought it a long time ago. Once in a while I'll use it. Just in case if you don't have it, but you have some extra regular foot presser foot, you can cut one. Because you will need it right here. Without the right presser foot, will be so hard to sew in. There is. This phone it is in good condition. Sometimes I don't put nothing at all. Once in a while, the phone need a repair. I just added a 1/4 inch phone on top. And I will put those all wire through it, that lifting. And make sure to do the same. Don't skip any of those ones. Make sure to put exactly how it was. Same thing right here, same thing right here. Now what you have to do is just push that wire inside the plastic and you will hear a noise, a click, and that means the wire is inside. Make sure to put out a cable through the hole. And you have to keep doing the same thing. And after that you have to put the side wire. And same thing, put them in, push it through that plastic, you will hear a noise. Maybe you will it will require a flat screwdriver for you to push it. Just get a staple puller and I get a cable. Okay, make sure that phone is placed right. And now start mounting the cover. The corner first. There is not any rule that is say that you have to do the front part first and then the back. No, there's not any rule, but it's the common sense. Front and then the back. This part might be harder for you. Just be patient. Make sure that plastic wrap the the metal in there. Make sure to, and you will hear a click. When you hear that noise, that means that plastic is placing right. And there is. Clean real good the cover. In case if it at the end come up with some small wrinkle, you can put a hot water, you can put them into the sun, and those wrinkle, it has to come out if it are small because it's at a vinyl. And there is the stitch. You can see is a quarter of an inch, the distance between one to another one. Same thing right here. Not a big deal, guys, to do this. It is not a big deal. There is this that I put. Very good clean. And now we'll take it to the car. Same thing when you're going to put them in. Make sure to connect it. Let's connect it together. And then put the seat and push it back. Push it back. And there it is. So now it is time to put the bracket that is holding like a bar. See how I put this bracket? This is a plastic. And that frame have a hole. And that bracket will go into the hole. Then you will put that small screw. And same thing with the other one. Same thing. And this is done. I'll show you how you can repair a Mercedes-Benz driver seat. It is easy. For me it is. That's how it was before. That's how it was. I show you the whole process how you can make it look like that. It is easy. For me it is. For you might be so hard, might be a challenge. But my friend, if you don't practice it, if you don't do it, you never will do it. Never will do it. One more thing. When you don't have a skill on something, don't expect for something perfect at the end. If you don't have a skill, if you barely start working on upholstery and you try to do something like this, never expect for something perfect at the end. Maybe the cover will be with wrinkle. Maybe that frame stitch will be so crooked. That means you have to practice it. You have to spend time practice it to make it perfect at the end. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And feel free to share this video. And thank you so much for watching. I will be here in another video. And thank you so much. See you later.